This damn thing don't want to charge. Shucks. What's going on with it?
All right,
We're
thank you,
live.
Dwayne. We're back in open session. Mr. Lott?
Madison County Board of Supervisors took no action during executive session.
Thank you. Old business?
Yes, sir. Turn that back on, sorry. Good morning again. Just one quick item of old business you may or may not recall. Joyce Taylor came before this board a little while back about flooding in her house. We had you as a board asked the insurance company to review the claim, which was initially denied. It was in fact re-denied. We admitted partial responsibility as part of that request for review. Joyce has since presented two estimates for the repairs to the house. They came in, cheapest one was $14,000. She is willing to settle that, I guess would be the word, for $6,000.
I'd like to make that motion that we go ahead and sell this at that $6,000. That sounds very fair and reasonable.
We have a motion, Mr. Banks, to settle it. Do I have a second? I'll second it for discussion.
Well,
We've looked at it.
We have, Tim was involved. There was a collection of issues involving the lake next door, and we added an extra culvert or drainage pipe. And the board did admit partial responsibility in the meeting. That is a fair question. I don't believe it was ever quantified. It was just, hey, we may have played a role. Yes.
Well, now it's time to
well,
ask if you want to ask.
He is outside. I can go grab him.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
now would be the time to do it before we vote.
yep.
Mike, have you looked at this as well?
Yes, when we admitted.
The agreement that we were talking about, the settlement?
Well, just the ability to pay her, and we can direct Mike or ask Mike to draw up the appropriate documentation. But as far as what partial responsibility means, when we, or y'all as a board said that we were partially responsible, I'm hoping Tim may be able to provide a little further information other than we played a role.
Well, you've got a lake that was full of water, and then you've got one pipe that was going into a ditch that then went into that lake. Well, the lake backed up, the ditch backed up, the pipe backed up. So what we did was we put a pipe, and she's at the corner, and so we put a pipe 90 degrees from the one that was there, and this one went directly into the lake. So that just gave a little more capacity of getting the water out quicker. But I would still say the vast majority of the issue was the lake backing up. And the reason she hasn't had an issue recently is that the lake, especially after this rain that we just got, which was tremendous, Friday, was the lake was down.
After the corrections, though, that we made, because this is like her fourth or fifth time flooding over a 5-6 year period. It's just a continuous thing. But after we made the pipe changes, then we haven't had that issue. Even with the lake still up last year, we made the pipe changes, and we had a big rain, and she hadn't had any issue. Is that correct?
Well, it just so happened, which is, of course, Murphy's Law, that the lake drained about the time we put the pipe in. So it's hard to tell how much of an impact the additional pipe had.
Okay.
Okay, but I think the motion was to allow Mike to draw up an agreement and bring back to the board.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got some concerns on that, especially with home getting flooded, claiming that water is coming off our road cause lack of whatever. That agreement you talking about gonna be saying what before I vote?
Well, basically, this is
Selling it.
a settlement agreement, but at the same time, our attorney is gonna write it to state that we do not want to accept any kind of responsibility or liability, but as an issue to put this to bed, we want to sell for less than the $14,000 that's being asked for. That's basically
Is that what you gonna say, Mike? 'Cause I don't wanna agree to no.
No, we're not
part
gonna take any acceptability or responsibility.
It would very likely say that we do not accept we disclaim liability.
Yeah.
It's a liability, we'll write it. We're gonna have, we don't declare that we did anything.
Yeah.
Well, you know, one thing that I think what Paul, or what I'm hearing Paul say is that we have many constituents comes in front of us talking
Yeah.
about flooding.
Yeah.
And we do not do anything about it. But in this case, we have said that we have helped cause the problem. I mean, that's in this case, that is what have said in the past. And do what, Sheila? Tim. And so with that being said, that's the reasoning that I'm in favor of doing some type of settlement, because we have said that we are partial of the cause of the problem. And so
Well, I mean, there's definitely some things that could have happened, but it was not something that we knowingly didn't do that caused this. My question would be is, if we do this settlement and she floods in the future, then what do we do?
well, that agreement would be taken care of at that point.
Agreement? Okay.
And make sure.
Yeah, okay, I just want to make sure that was in there.
All those floods
Yeah.
prior to, she can't come back and claim it on.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. Sheila? Did that answer your question? Okay. All right, other discussion? All right, Mike, the motion again is for Mike to work with Tim to draw up an agreement, a settlement agreement. So, all right, all in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, with that being said,
Carry.
it carried 3-1.
By a slim margin.
So, Mike, if you will, draw up one, and again, we can come back and talk about the settlement as well at the next board meeting, or when it's presented to us.
Yeah, it got to be presented to us.
That's right.
We're
We have to
doing
vote
nice
on it again,
presented
Sheila.
to.
Okay, the other is, we talked about the engineer in Cotton Blossom Road, and we talked about that, so do I have a motion on the table?
I just want to throw out a motion that we take it on the advisement until the next meeting, make a decision. It give me a little more thoughts.
Well, I'll second that motion, since Paul would like to have more thoughts, and I
Yeah.
think the rest of us too, maybe, because this is a very close situation.
It's like I say, both of the engineering company, great companies. I'm just trying to see who's gonna be able to bring Madison County the funds and be fair with it when they bring it. Ain't saying none of them ain't gonna be fair, but we are gonna have several big projects ongoing. And I just got to try to see, can I choose the right engineer?
All right, we have a motion on the floor by,
We're still discussing this motion.
hold on a second. We have a motion on the floor by Supervisor Griffin, second from Supervisor Banks for discussion.
Yeah.
Yes, we're still discussing. Mike, if you will, talk in your microphone, please.
Yeah, on this particular motion, I know the board wants to take it under advisement, that's fine. But I don't want any motion that we make to mention or declare that there's any financial component to this, because the RFP request for proposals that we issued that they responded to didn't request any financial component. So therefore, the motion to table that, that discusses the reason it's being tabled should not mention any financial component because that was not a part of the request for proposal.
Okay.
Okay. I do not believe any words in your motion said that, did it?
No,
Okay.
Just take it on advisement to the next meeting, right?
The next meeting.
Yeah.
All right, all in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
It just take time to ponder our
Okay.
thoughts.
Next is, to have a motion to adjourn for what, May 1st at 9 a.m.?
I'd like to
Got a
make that
Mr.
motion.
Banks,
Second that motion.
second, Mr. Griffin. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
We are adjourned to May
We
1.
are adjourned. Turn off the mic.
Okay.